I stood there very still, with an expression on my face like a child sucking on a piece of chocolate for the first time. I don't know how long I stood there watching her turn and float and right in the air. There was only this moment, so intimate, so deep, so magical. After a while, it was time. She stopped her carousel ride, opened her eyes and looked at me with the most beautiful yellow-green eyes I had ever seen. My breath caught in my throat. She nodded. And I asked her hesitantly, "What are you doing there?" At first I only heard a humming, and after a few seconds of adjusting to the noise, I understood her, every word. She tells me her story, from the fear that almost ate her alive to her path of acceptance and trust. I listened to her spellbound and she continued to speak in her own way. So the matrix is nothing more than a reflection of our vibrations, in short, a blueprint of our energies. It is our image of love or the lack thereof. And it will always be like that. We are great creators and we create all that. So the matrix is nothing bad for me, it is not my enemy, but it is neutral to see, as a kind of record that I play music on. Just like you. Consisting of our thoughts, numbers, words, emotions. Like music on records. Therefore one of my favorite affirmations is, I program the matrix. This phrase strengthens me, confirms me in that when I feel uncomfortable in places or with beings, that I am not a victim, but a creator. Everything and really everything in the universe can be calculated and represented with numbers. The human body can be calculated individually, each organ, each bone, each cell has its own numerical code. So we are back to music. Let's take the side length of a guitar, which due to its dimensions in length and thickness generates a certain frequency. For example, this is also the case with your left upper arm bone in your body, which can be calculated like a guitar string and has its own hertz vibration, which in turn generates a geometric pattern. Thus, your left upper arm bone has its own vibration, just as you as a whole human being have your own vibrational structure, your individual mandala. Conversely, this means that you carry your own numerical combination. Everything sings and vibrates in hertz heart tones, more or less or not at all for us, but always palpable. That's why you feel comfortable or less comfortable or not at all with certain people or in certain places. Since every building, every stone, every flower, every animal, every computer, every earth property also has an individual numerical combination, its own pattern, which resonates with us or less or not at all. Of course, this also applies to everything else, such as diseases, which also have their own vibration and thus their own tone, which can be rebalanced and reversed with tones like music and words, numbers, and symbols. This is exactly what I do here on this spot for the purpose of healing. Hundreds of years ago a lot of blood and many tears flowed into this earth here. Since you have discovered me, can see me, you will see much in a different light from today on. See you soon. She spoke and suddenly vanished before my eyes, like a genie from a bottle. The numbers and symbols disappeared into the mist of fine glitter dust. She just left me standing there. I didn't know her name or where she was going or floating, and I had so many more questions. Disappointed, I looked up at the sky, hoping to see her flying there. Suddenly I feel a gentle nudge in my right side and look into a beautifully wrinkled face. A grey-haired and very elegantly dressed lady looks at me slyly. I don't know her, but her eyes seem familiar to me.